Hi, Ben Skerrett here from BLS Horsemanship. Today I just wanted to take the time to sit down and have a little bit of a chat about the importance of preparation in your horse training. I have a lot of people that I work with that are beginners and then from beginner that vary in experience up to people that are more experienced. So I work with a wide range of people from different disciplines, from dressage and reining, and some from the racehorse industry, and some from pleasure riders, competitive trail riders, all sorts of different people that have different focuses, with their horses. The one thing that I find that that we all need to develop as a skill is the ability to have good preparation. And so for me, what that means is understanding all the little parts that have to come together to make the whole. So I always use the metaphor and the analogy of baking a cake. If you bake a cake, you need to have your flour, you need to have your milk, you need to have your eggs, you need to have an oven. That's a really important ingredient. And all these ingredients have to be in there, and then you have to have the right ratio of water to flour, and milk to flour, and depending on what ingredients you're using. And if that ratio is off, even a small bit, and those ingredients aren't all there and aren't put together in the right way, then the cake that you get when you bake can come out looking very different. And take it from me, my attempts at baking, I've had some very interesting cakes when I've made them. But the point I'm trying to make, it's the same with horse training. When you're training a horse, there's a lot of elements in your training that have to come together, and a lot of ingredients in what you're doing that have to come together in order for that process to be successful. It could be something that I see, such as floating. Like floating is a very typical one. Putting your horse on a horse trailer. A lot of people fail to understand all the little parts that need to be going well before you even attempt to put your horse on the trailer. So, for example, making sure you spend the time developing the communication first, having the horse go backwards softly, having them to where they can go out in the circle softly. They really understand how to go forwards well. They understand how to disengage. They understand how to stand still and to respect your boundaries and to have a good respect of personal space. All those little things are going to potentially either help create a great floating experience for the horse, or they're potentially going to make it much harder and much more difficult for the horse to feel good about going on the float. So it's our job, being the leader, when we're working with our horse, to lead by example, which means basically we have to be the ones that think about all these little components that have to come together to make the whole. All these little components that have to come together to make it a successful outcome. And so that's something that I want you to think about when next time you're working with your horse, is to think about what are all the little parts and little ingredients that I need to have exactly right in order for me to be able to do whatever exercise I'm wanting to do. So it might be something as simple as having a horse go on the circle. What are all the parts of that circle that I need to have working for me in order for me to have a successful experience with my horse when I teach them to circle. And so again, it comes back to the preparation, the quality of the preparation, the quality of understanding all the ingredients that have to go into that preparation. And once you have all those ingredients, the chances of things going well there's a much higher probability that will happen that way, that you'll be successful and that you'll create a good experience for your horse. So that's just something to think about. I hope that serves you when you're out there with your horse, and I will see you in another video soon.